Give me that.
Crypto Quickie.
What is up, everybody? It's your boy KJ here with your daily Crypto Quickie, where we give you just the tip. If you like my content, make sure to like, subscribe. Appreciate you guys, and comment. I made a tweet today on my Twitter, if you're not following me, at Korean Jew Crypto, but kind of asking for alt suggestions to go over and TA for this video. You guys made a lot of good suggestions. I tried to pick out as many as possible, and we're going to go through those rapid fire in just a minute. Also, we are going to obviously talk about BTC. Has it found support? And Tezos, there's a lot of comparisons between Tezos and Ethereum. If you've been watching the videos, you know how I feel about Tezos, and hopefully you guys got in. And also Vechain. Vechain had a hack in their buyback account. So I'm going to go over all of these things for you, plus the alts, and we're going to do it quickly, okay? So let's get started. Before we go, just want to thank my sponsors, DOGE. If you guys want to trade margin, they've gotten way better. A ton more of liquidity, is big orders. I mean, you're not going to get filled for 1 million contracts, but it's a good place to trade freely, where the exchange is not actually trading against you. So, if you want to give it a shot, I'd be so honored if you use my referral link. It's in the top left corner right there, dudex.com/Korean Jew. All right, so let's not wait any further. We'll get started. Go right to BTC. All right, so we got BTC. I'm looking at the 8-hour here. What I'm seeing is it still doesn't look fantastic. I know we were targeting a break of 7K. If you watched the last video, I kind of gave you an outline of how to play it, and shortly after, it came true. So check this out real quick, and then we'll move on. We have the full moon coming tomorrow. BTC is continuing this downward trend and failing to make a higher high. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a little pop up to maybe like 74, 75, somewhere around there, and then it gets shorted and stuffed down. It's still short the bounce territory, unfortunately.
That boy is good.
All right, so on different exchanges, specifically ones where they trade leverage, the highest it went I saw was about 74.50 or 74.45. I know we were looking at, I think I threw out, 74.75 and then a dump. So we got 74.45 and then, a few $300 dump is significant. That's a great trade if you're able to catch it. It didn't make it all the way to my target area of around 69.80. Was front run here at 7,000, about 7,070. So it didn't look good. It was bleak. However, what we're seeing now, if we zoom in, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 8-hour candles. Well, this one is still open. There's 3 hours left, but we're on the verge of having 5 8 hours green, which is a good sign. And as I've discussed in these videos, I'll keep talking about it. This specific trend line, which is, you can draw new trend lines because the price action has changed. There are new highs made and lows. So this one is one that I've just left because I wanted to observe how price plays off of this line. And for the past 6 months, it's been extremely significant, okay? I mean, if you look, even now, it's still acting as a resistance. We haven't been able to close above it. So that's what I'm looking for. A close above it would bring it right above Vegeta Lives level now. So if we can get above 7,500 and close there without being shot down like all these other wicks here, especially if I zoom in a little bit to the hourly, that would be a really good sign. See, look at every big impulse move up is being shorted, and it's still short the bounce territory until it isn't. However, to get above this line, we only need another $100 or so. So it's very, very close now. The last thing I want to show you to kind of paint a bullish picture, for those that want that, is if you look at the 8-hour and you flip it upside down, okay? We're going to invert that. What you see here is, in the past episode, we talked about the 2B reversal, okay? So have a high, another high, then a lower high. And we don't get past this level, this 68.33. If it goes below 68.33, this is going to look bad. But if you look at the way price is behaving now, we've made the peak. There was a dump, or a pump rather, bounced up, a lower high. We didn't take out that. Down. We've made the same lower high here around 70.50 in that range, and now it's starting to go back down. So like I said, this is kind of a key level right here. If it gets below there, I mean, this is going to start to look very, very bullish. So you don't need to rush in at this second. I actually made a signal earlier today around 71.90. I thought the RR was pretty good there. But, you know, you don't need to absolutely play this. You can wait for some bullishness to occur. And by the looks of it, I don't think it's too far away. So I'm leaning a little bit bullish here. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I know it's not popular, but, you know, when you look at what's going on around you, people are tapping out left and right. And it's kind of like what you want to see for a market that's bottoming, is like people giving up, throwing in the towel, fighting, all sorts of drama and shit. I'm trying to stay away from that. But you can definitely see it. And the general consensus has to be bearish. Most people are looking for the 6K test, you know, myself included. You know, 69.80 is an area that I've been looking for the last few weeks. Hasn't happened yet. And I'm starting to believe that maybe it won't. So we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, let's get into alts. All right, so Tezos, it's been a ripper. Is it the next Ethereum? Is it the next Matic? First off, we've been TAing Tezos for some time now. I've actually been talking about it since the summer. Entry around 950. We're almost at a 3x. It's done fantastic. This is just, I'll zoom into 4 hours. We're just in a very bullish trend here. You're seeing, once this top is broken at 1900, we're up. We go to 2200, which acts as resistance, breaks above 2200. Now the next level is 2500. I actually made a tweet saying it wasn't a bad time to take some profit. So hopefully you guys did. When I say take profit, I don't mean close the whole position though, because I think this still does have some room. It is quite possible. The reason why 2500 looked pretty significant to me was it's a nice round number. 2500 has a psychological meaning to people. And it also coincided right with this wick. So when it first listed on Kraken, dumped right away. And usually when you see these dumps, there's a bounce somewhere. And that bounce gets sold off, and then you get the real dump. So the bounce made it up to 25, 24 approximately. And that's exactly where we were when I sent that tweet saying, you know, maybe take some profit. So right now, it's starting to make up the ground. We made a lower high, which doesn't look good. We got to get above this, or else we're going to at least revisit like maybe 22. 22 is the area. If it goes much below that, the move may be stalling seriously, and you know, kind of, I would be looking to get out. So first area where, like, if you want to be really safe, right here, this double bottom, it's about 22.99, 2300. If that gets hit a third time, I don't think it's going to hold. So you can stop out like right below here. That's like this line. Or if you think it's going to bounce, perhaps, then like somewhere around here. But much below 2200, then it doesn't look good. So right now, you know, it's a bit risky. You definitely want to catch kind of a wick, but from a fundamental perspective, people are comparing this to Ethereum. Now, one of the things that doesn't really make sense to me, I know that they're pushing staking, which Ethereum didn't have. So people are kind of rediscovering this whole notion of staking the tokens and being paid a dividend. It is on Coinbase. However, when Ethereum made its big run from like $10 to 1400 really, but specifically like in 2017, mid 2017, there were only 2 altcoins on Coinbase. And that's when most people were discovering cryptocurrency. So people were getting on with their cash and going through Coinbase, and all they could buy was Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Those were the only 3 options. Now, if you go on Coinbase, there's a whole slew of tokens. So I don't think the scarcity is there to kind of create that demand. Plus, back, if you remember, if you weren't around, there was a tremendous amount of optimism about smart contracts and people believing that Ethereum based tokens and smart contracts were going to literally change the world overnight. Hasn't delivered on that promise yet. Decentralized applications are supposed to be better, faster, more efficient than what we have now, and then the opposite. So until like decentralized applications start really proving utility and value, the smart contract platform is really extremely speculative. The other thing that obviously drove Ethereum's price up was with this whole optimism and euphoria and you know, belief that smart contracts were the future. That's where you saw the ICO bubble explode and then eventually pop. And Ethereum's main use case wasn't to run dApps, it was to fund Ponzi ICOs. So back then, the only way you could participate in an ICO was you have to buy Ethereum and send it to the ICO. So that really drove the value. That was the value of Ethereum. The value proposition wasn't smart contracts, it was to make money on ICOs. So I don't see it doing a run like Ethereum whatsoever. So we'll see. From a technical perspective, if it takes out this area here, 2800, 2850, then we end up in price discovery. And I have no desire to try to call the top on it. We'll just see how much it can go. But it certainly looks bullish. There's a lot of excitement around it. And people are running to short it.
Bitch, are you for real?
So, you know, can it continue? I think it can. Let's move on to Vechain. All right. So Vet. So Vet, we TA'd Vet last episode. Today, actually, the Vechain Foundation made an announcement that their buyback wallet was hacked to the tune of 1.1 billion tokens.
It's the Krusty Burglar!
Oh my god, he's stealing all the burgers! Why, you little... I touch you! Go! Go!
Oh, it's all just an act.
Stop! Stop! He's already dead.
So in BTC value, that's 880 BTC. What a lick. That's a nice hit there. These guys took 880 BTC worth of Vet. The token promptly dumped a bit and it actually got right into the box, wicked down, and then now it's sitting exactly on top of it. So if you're going to make a play on this, now would be the time. Just for perspective's sake, the total market cap of Vechain is 323 million. They hacked 2% of the tokens. The daily volume's 14,000. So it's not insignificant, but it's not the end of the world. All right, so the next coin is Zilliqa. This was one I haven't heard in a while. This was requested by someone on Twitter. Let's look at the daily. Okay, so major downtrend. Looks awful. Completely sideways. Let's zoom in out a little bit more. We'll do the 3-day. All right, same picture. So this is kind of where the volume came in and failed. 200 sats. All right, that's a long ways away. That would be the next. I mean, like if you're playing this, that's kind of like your target area is around 200. But I mean, the first area would be 100 sats. We're sitting at 76. You know, this one is the weekly volume is good. It's growing on the buy side. That's a good sign. But anything could happen. I don't feel unless there's you know, if you guys want to do the research, perhaps maybe there's something fundamentally happening, some sort of announcement or something to that effect. But as of right now, I don't see anything screaming bullish to me. You're kind of taking a shot on this one. Okay, the next coin is Doge. All right, a legendary coin right here. I'm looking at it on Bittrex because Binance only recently listed it, and that's where the most price history is. So, all right, let's look at Doge. It's been around for a while. This is kind of unpredictable. So we're below this area between 35 and 50 sats where it's launched before. I'd say you're looking for it to get over 45 sats. If it gets over 45, then we could really be doing something here. We're at 30 right now, so that's 50% away. Significant, you know, it's far away. Looking at this, I don't know. I'm not ready to predict what's going to happen here. It can continue down for some time. It's not somewhere I would really be parking my BTC in at the moment until I see more signs from it. And it's too hard to predict when it's going to just go bananas. So, you know, can't give a recommendation on Doge at the moment. Next coin is RSR, Reserve Rights on Huobi. This is a favorite of mine. Looking at it now, it's also in a downtrend. It's just being seriously accumulated. Huobi coins are popping off, like they happen randomly. I think this one, what's it, a 6.5 million market cap, has a lot of big backers behind it. I could see this thing pumping like crazy, like legit. Like, I'm not trying to like shill this coin because there's no need to run out and buy it right now. But it's one of those ones where, you know, I could see it doing a 10x. Like, I don't know when, you know, in a few months, something like that, but randomly kind of just starts to pick up momentum. And, you know, I think it has 10x written all over it. But anyway, let's look at it. Okay, this failed. This is old. Get rid of that. But anyway, you have the double bottom here, around 18 sats. Don't want to see it go below that. You want it over 23. If it gets to 23, then your target's around 27 satoshis. Gets over 27, you're looking at 30. Gets over 30, it gets very, very bullish. 40 sats, it goes to the moon. So that's kind of like where you're at. You could wait for it to get to over 30 sats and then play. Or you could take a chance now with the stop. It's up to you how you want to play this. Next coin is KAVA. This is one of the IEOs that is actually performing pretty well right out of listing. I don't know anything about it. Let's stretch this out a bit. This is a fib retracement. And you can see that, and zoom in a little bit, not as much price history. So we'll look at the 4 hour. The 0.5, right, is pretty close to this level. 12,300, like in that range. That's where the most volume has been. And if you look, that's where the support is. So this was support. Well, it was. This was support. This broke. We dumped to a little bit over 10,000 sats. And now it's recovering a bit. So, you know, frankly, like if you want to participate, I would look to kind of buy around here, like 12,500 sats. Use a stop on that. If it gets below like 12,000, I'm out. But I would take a shot on this. Or you know, if this top goes out, like if it gets over 14, there can be plenty more room to run. It might be a nice little neat trade to make there. And you know, you can kind of look for 16 or higher. You know, just protect yourself. But, you know, there's not too much price history, but it is showing a bullish price action that I haven't seen very often on these IEOs. So something worth keeping an eye on. It's small cap too, 8.5 million. And the last one is UTK. I don't even know what that is. I guess we'll check it out on Bitfinex or, well, I'll check out Huobi. It's a Huobi coin. All right, that's good to know. Let's see. All right, yeah, this is a train wreck. Okay, you know, and keep in mind for the RSR people, there is a possibility it can do this too. It can just keep going. But since it listed, this has just been a complete disaster. Looked like it was accumulating here and going sideways, starting to get some feet under it. Started to try to break out, and it just fell off a cliff. Now there's a big buy volume candle recently. A lot of volume in here. I guess if you like this project, now's the time to buy it. I don't know anything about it, but you know, if you think that fundamentally this has something going for it, then you know it can't get much worse. I mean, of course it can, but you know, 180. So yeah, like you want to hope that the low is in right now is kind of like where you're at. If you're playing this, if it goes below like 150 sats, I mean, you might want to just get out of it because then it could end up well below 100. It's possible. So I mean, you can't ignore this volume on Huobi. This is pretty crazy. So I don't know, what is this, 6.7 million? You know, frankly, there was a bunch of people shilling this. It could be a pump and dump. People may be ready to pump and dump this. You never know. That's kind of like how crypto works. You know, you have these different groups. You know, I have a private group myself, and people start to get excited about one token, then everybody starts to FOMO in, and nobody else knows what's going on, but all of a sudden you get this huge volume candle. This is bigger than like a private group, though. I think this is this is like something serious. But you know, these things happen, or it could be a group of people that are ready to coordinate something, and or they know inside information. So you always keep an eye out for these type of volume spikes. That's the biggest volume it's ever had. And interesting enough, the price didn't do anything really. There wasn't much happening. So, you know, frankly, I'm going to check this one out. I don't know anything about it. And it was kind of strange that so many people were asking about it. So, you know, maybe something's up. Check it out. All right. So that's it. That wraps up the show. I hope you guys enjoyed. Try to keep it as short as possible and do this quickly because it is the Crypto Quickie. If you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like button. Give me a subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great weekend. Trade safe.